the rule is just totally thrown out the window, which I think is pointless having it. Let's have a look at some glasses here. And they've actually got some here. Along here seems to be very expensive, 300 baht upwards. Welcome back. Tuesday rolled around again. Seems to come round very quick these days. Well, I remember when I was a kid, 7 days seemed to be a long time, but it's not anymore. Our day started off with taking Shadow a walk, as we normally do. And I have to say, the weather is looking nice this morning. Not sure how long it's going to last because we are seeing quite a bit of rain. We're going towards May, but we shall see throughout the day. So we're going to be popping down to Surin Beach because I've heard there's some changes coming there as from the 1st of May. So I want to go down and have a look. I've heard it through the grapevine, so to speak. But first, it's breakfast and I'm starving. Well, I have to say that was a delicious breakfast, and I've now arrived at Surin Beach, and we're just going to have a quick look down here because I heard from a subscriber to the channel that there's some changes coming to Surin Beach, and it looks like there's a big notice being put up informing the vendors down here that they need to take off the sunbeds in the evening time, not just leave them on the beach, and also any buildings that have roofs, permanent structures, need to be removed before the 1st of May. Now, Surin Beach has had this situation quite a few times, stepping back a few years ago when the army government was in power. They classified Surin Beach, and it is still classified as a white beach. And what a white beach basically means is there is no commercial activity on the beach allowed whatsoever. And as you can see, that isn't quite the case. In fact, there's more commercial activity on the beach than ever before. And the government have been very slow in reacting to this. And the 1st of May really is low season. They haven't done anything about it during high season, and now we're going into low season. You can see for yourself the amount of sunbeds is quite overwhelming, considering this is a white beach and there isn't supposed to be any at all. So there's a sign gone up, and Nat's done a rough translation because it is in Thai. I don't read Thai, and it basically says that from the 1st of May there's going to be some changes on Surin Beach. Exactly what those changes are going to be, I don't really know myself, because even with Nat translating, it's not really clear. It sort of says that they can still use the beach in the daytime, which is a little bit besides the point because it's supposed to be a white beach, so none of this is supposed to be here. That as a tourist, if you want to bring your own parasol and a chair, then you are allowed to do that, because it's not going to be here for any length of time, only while you're on the actual beach. But as regards the vendors, that is classed as commercial activity, because of course they are charging for those or for these sunbeds, so it's commercial activity. So I would have thought that would be removed from the beach, or the government would be trying to remove it from the beach, but I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to be back on the 1st of May to take a look and see whether all these sunbeds are actually still here. But you can see it's a real shame, because Surin is actually a very beautiful beach. I understand the argument between obviously having somewhere to sit when you're on holiday. I understand the need for sunbeds and parasols. Of course, people need somewhere to sit rather than directly on the sand. So there is a need for them. However, the problem that you have here in Thailand is the vendors get carried away. Now, on some of the beaches, they have a 10% rule. And I've covered this before, and very quickly the 10% rule is forgotten, and it's more like a 99% rule, because 99% of most of the beaches on the west coast of Phuket, which is all the main tourist beaches, are covered with sunbeds. So the rule is just totally thrown out the window, which I think is pointless having it, because it's not enforced. I do think a small percentage should be allowed, so people that don't want to sit on the sand, for whatever reason that may be, because sometimes people just don't like sitting on the sand. You've got sand flies, people have medical conditions where it's not easy for them to get up and down. I understand all those reasons, and I totally agree. There should be some on all the beaches, but it's where is the line, because people just get carried away with it. And this is the situation. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with our day. I think we're going to go for a nice spot of lunch. Later today, we're going to go into Patong and have a nosy around Patong. We haven't been over there for a while. Nat's not a big fan of Patong, are you? Yeah, you can see by her face. How was your egg pan, Nat?
Yeah, nice.
You like it, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice food there, actually.
See, I not eat egg pan too much.
Yeah, I noticed, but today you enjoyed it.
Sausage roti, nice also.
Yeah, I must admit it was really nice. We've really had a nice breakfast. If you're interested in visiting that place, I have covered it on previous videos, and I'll stick it in the link in the description or on the video somewhere. Go and check it out if you're interested in it. We're now going to make our way to somewhere else and have a nosy around. Okay, service time for the scooters. Got to do the PCX and the Click 125. Another job for today. So we've just called into the new Phuket grocery, and let's have a look at some glasses here. And they've actually got some here for 990 baht. That includes the lenses as well, which I find an absolute bargain. Because Nat was looking about a month ago down at Chilvat, and they wanted over 6,000 baht. I mean, they do have different brands and everything. Well, good price. I know people have asked before about glasses and opticians. We've got a testing here where you can have your eyes tested and everything. Now personally, I think those suit Nat's face a lot better. Which ones look the better? You think those ones with the thicker frame, or the ones that you've just seen with the thinner frame? They're both the same price. Well, they're doing such a good offer. Both myself and Nat have bought a pair of glasses. Mine are being made now. Nat's got to come back for hers in 2 days' time. So really comprehensive test. I was quite impressed with the optician. I've never wore glasses before, but I have noticed in the last sort of 18 months, long distance, far away, is getting a little bit blurred now because I work a lot of time on the computer. I thought I'd have an eye test, check them out, and my long sight not so good, so they're going to do a pair of glasses for that. And it's cost me, because I've had the UV treatment on the lens as well, they worked out, well, it's called blue, yeah, it's worked out at 1,500, so I think that's a great bargain for the frames and the lenses. How much was yours, Nat? 990 baht. What do you think of my new glasses? It's amazing the difference that they're making straight away. Rocking the new glasses, I've got to say, it's like going from night to day. 720 to 4K. I can't believe the difference. It just shows you that you think your eyes are not that bad until you put a pair of glasses on. And whilst I didn't think they were bad, my distance vision is totally different with the glasses. So very pleased, got a real bargain there. Very helpful staff, very professional. They got all the stuff to do, all the proper tests and everything. So really, really pleased with the finished product. We were going to go to the Forest Cafe, but unfortunately they are closed until the end of the month. We were going to have a late lunch, early dinner, and then come into Patong. So because the cafe is closed, we've come straight into Patong. So we're going to find somewhere here to have something to eat. I don't know where yet, because we haven't been over, me and Nat, for a while, and had just a look around. May go in here, the number 6 restaurant. That's looking busy. Some of the dishes are not too bad. Yeah, some are quite expensive. A lot of people say it's cheap here, but last time I looked, sorry Cap, last time I looked, I wasn't blown away by the prices, but it's definitely busy. Huh? Yeah. 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 Do you want to have a look? We'll have a look around first, and then we'll make a decision. But we might come back here to number 6 and try the food, because I know a lot of people rave about number 6, but honestly I'm not blown away by the prices. They're similar prices to the place next door. So I think this is an Indian restaurant. Yeah. You want Indian, do you now? You want an Indian? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, the only trouble I find with Indian restaurants, they're either really good or not so. There's no mediocre. So, and that sometimes puts me off going to an Indian restaurant that I don't know whether they're any good or not, because me and Nata, we've had a very bad Indian meal. Yeah. Sushi taco. That's a bit of a weird mix, isn't it? You know, I'm not sure about that. Quite busy down here actually, as we're coming towards Bangla Road. What are these, Nat?
It's Thai dessert.
Thai dessert?
Yeah.
Oh, look nice. Right on the edge of Bangla Road. Popular. People getting very excited here. Let's go and have a look here, just in front of the central department store, because there's a little market here and they normally have a mixture of clothes and food. So we'll go and check it out. There's what? Bank? Yeah, okay. Banking zone. There's no food zone down here anymore. Could eat in 7-Eleven. Okay, so we're gonna have a wander and see whether we can find somewhere to eat. As we don't come over very often to Patong, we don't know where the best restaurants are. I'm gonna be exploring in the coming weeks and months in Patong to find these places out, but at the moment we don't know. So they do still have a food part downstairs, but it doesn't look very big. A lot of these places are empty. Maybe it's not very popular with people. Sulika? That sounds nice. Braised belly pork with preserved mustard greens and rice. Well, I've had a quick look at the food court down here, and whilst there are some interesting choices, I don't think the prices are any better or as good as the Robinson's food court. That's where me and Nat normally eat quite often actually, and they have some really good prices. Average price is sort of 60-70 baht. In there it's just over 100. I know we're in Patong, so it's going to be a little bit dearer, but I feel that the prices in the food court we could eat in a restaurant. So we're going to have a little look around John Silon, the main shopping centre, and then we're going to try and find a restaurant here and have something to eat in a restaurant rather than eating in the food court. But it was interesting to go and have a look and see what they got on offer. A bit small, I think. So we've walked out the back of the John Silon shopping mall, and just to the left hand side is the Banzaan fresh market, but they also have a small area at the front in the evening that sells both food and accessories, etc. So we're going to have a look along here and see whether we see anything we like, and if not, then we will have a look for a restaurant. Ooh, might have a salad. I've got to start eating a little bit healthier because my blood pressure is a little bit high, so I need to change my habits. We're eating a little bit late in the evening because sometimes Nat doesn't finish till quite late, and then we're going to bed with full stomachs, and sometimes we eat a lot of fried foods which isn't the healthiest. So I need to start eating a little bit more fruit and vegetables, and we have loads here, so there's no excuse really. It's me being lazy, just going for the easy food. Ah, stuffed chilies, yes. So when you move around the front of the Banzaan, they've got these stalls round here, but these are actually like little restaurants that you can sit behind. They got different dishes that you can buy, and then you can sit here and eat it. They'll cook the food for you. Some nice big skewers there. Crocodile. Plenty of seafood to pick from. Well, apart from the kebab places, I didn't really see anything that was reasonably priced. Everything that I was looking at along here seems to be very expensive, 300 baht upwards. So we're now back onto Ratchatit Soi. We're going to have a look along here and see if we can find anywhere. So we're just walking past Number 6, as you can see there, and you can see they've already started queuing up. I am really puzzled by that. Obviously the food must be something special in there. So we couldn't find anything around the Bangla Road that we wanted to go in and try. So we've come to a site that I've already covered on the channel. So check the video out. It's called Soi Nanai Rumjai. And we're going to try this little restaurant here, because I did mention on that video I would be coming back in the evening time and checking out a few restaurants, because there's quite a few good Thai restaurants, and you can see yourself the difference in price, and we're only literally 5-6 minutes away from Bangla Road. There's plenty to choose from. There's another place there, there's another place next door to that, and there's some more places further up there. We're going to go in this. If you take a look at that video, you will see me walking past this restaurant. So let's go in that and grab a table and get a menu. Where are you going to sit, here? Right. Superb. I like the decor. Nice. I think the server's a little bit shy. Yeah, she is. Sorry, Cap. So I'm just waiting for Nat to make up her mind what she wants. I'm going to have the Phuket noodle, and I'm going to have the chicken one. They do shrimp and pork. A little bit noisy, this side. Okay, I think Nat's going to try the suki. Okay, cup and cap, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, nice. Big nice egg on the top as well. Lovely. So this is Phuket noodle. Okay, let's give this a try. Break the egg into it. Oh, nice sauce. That's nice. Oh, you don't like the yellow noodle? That's really nice. I'm going to say, really nice. Good choice there. That's excellent. A little bit of taste of pepper I can taste as well. Okay, so this is Nat's suki. Thank you. Sit up. Which one you had? You had the chicken or pork? Pork. You've had moo. Okay. First reaction. Yeah, get your reaction.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah, I must admit my Phuket noodles are delicious. Really good. I'm very pleased. Thumbs up, huh? Okay. Right, we're going to enjoy our food, and I'll be back to you shortly. So, my thoughts on the food here. I have to say the Phuket noodle was delicious. You can see yourself that I've cleared my plate. Really enjoyed it. For 89 baht, absolute bargain. And that's still getting through her suki. She said the only thing wrong with it is the portion's too big. There's too much of it. And hers was 80 baht. So excellent value here. And definitely a place you should check out here in Patong, because the foods are good. And I guess that's it for this video. I will catch you very soon on the next one.